What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're going to be having a conversation all about weight. Is it good? Is it bad? We'll find out in just a bit. Let's go. Now, recently our health minister has advised everybody to take care of their health because, just in case if you catch the virus, your body immune system could probably help, fight against it. But that doesn't mean you don't need to go out and take the vaccine. Go out and get the vaccine. And in addition to that, go out and exercise, make sure your weight's in check, make sure your eating habits in check. So, your body is at the most fittest, position ever, to combat this whole pandemic. But, with that being said, I have a very special person today that is very specialized in a certain field that I would say, everybody kind of turns a blind eye to. I think a lot of people should basically be a little bit more aware to this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here on the show, and I love what we've been doing so far. This whole entire month, we've been talking about healthcare. We've been having different specialists come on the show to talk about how everybody can really make the most of their healthcare. Ladies and gentlemen, today on the show, we have Dr. Mustafa. Welcome. Yay.
I can hear it.
Yes, that's right. I have an audience over here. I paid them all 50 cents each to clap really loudly. Doctor, welcome to the show. How have you been, man?
Hi, good morning, Jenny. How are you?
I'm okay. I mean, everything's going back to normal. We've been completely silent for 4 months. So my line of work requires us to go out and shoot stuff. So when we were having a 4-month holiday, it's quite good to come out and finally do something. You know what I mean? Rather than sit at home and rot. But other than that, I mean, everything is fine. Everything is okay. But, for the benefit of our listeners, Dr. Mustafa, could you please, introduce yourself and let us know what it is you do?
Okay. Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Mustafa. I am a general surgeon, and I'm subspecialized in few areas. That will be mainly what we call the esophagus and the stomach. And under that is actually we do all the type of surgeries, cancer surgeries, reflux surgery, anything related to the abdomen, GIT. I do a lot of subspecialty of what you call hernias, and the most important subspecialty is bariatric. What is bariatric is a weight reduction surgery,
right?
And that is actually is a solution for weight. So basically, we are not people who doing surgeries only. We do diet counseling, we do lifestyle modification, and of course, we do surgeries as well.
Yeah, but of course, we can't really confuse people and say, oh, just because you want to lose weight, just go see doctor. I mean, obviously, when we all lose weight, we have to exercise first, lah. But
Yeah.
if it is, even greater measures, that's where you see the doctor. Sorry, go on. I know I cut you off. Yes.
But they have to understand. I mean, when we talk about number one, actually, the wrong concept people they understand. Why should I exercise? I'm not weight. I don't have any extra weight. The concept, we don't need to exercise in order for us to lose weight. Never been the exercise for you to lose weight. Exercise is actually to speed up the process, to shape you up better, to maintain your weight. So basically, exercise is to improve your heart pumping, your immunity system. Janine, up to this moment, there are some people they're scared to go out because they are worried if you go. You have to understand you can get the virus in the air. You can get it in your home as well.
Yeah.
So it's basically how can you protect yourself? This is where it comes to your lifestyle, the type of food that you eat, exercise that will help you a lot. Your mindset, because we need a lot of positivities here. People have been affected badly by this pandemic thing. People, they lost their job, they lost their actually clients, they lost a lot of things. But that new norm actually came out with a new people as well. We come out with a new ideas as well. We are not being very good with this online thing. Since ever this COVID, we've done, it was, let's say, for example, we start to do international conference. We need to invite people whatsoever now like that. 1 week, we do conference over the weekend, done in 1 hour. It's something new. It's something new.
Yes,
Yeah, it's something
it
new.
is. It is.
Yeah.
So today, the reason why we're having a chat with you today is because we're talking about a topic that sometimes people tend to use it as a joke. They tend to use that term as like, you're obese. Obesity. Okay, obesity is often not commonly discussed about amongst people. It's more of like we know about the word obese, but do we really know what obesity is all about? So, doctor, what is obesity?
Okay, now the first of all, out of this, ethically, we cannot tell the people you are obese. You
Yes.
cannot do that.
Yep.
Okay, now because this is actually number one is ethically is not nice.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do, okay, we can tell in a common term, gemuk, berat badan tinggi,
Mm-hmm.
your weight is actually, oh, you looks a bit more than before, whatsoever. But the wrong thing is tend to be like a normal thing. Like the people they accept themselves when they are obese, and the worse than that when the people start to deny that. They will start to deny that they are obese. It's what's the problem? I'm chubby. I'm good. No, that's not good in matter of health. Now the thing is, you have to understand. You have a battle in your life. You
Yep.
have a timing for your life. If you're not gonna match that time frame, eventually you will end with one of these illnesses. You like it or you don't like it. That will be in your heart. That will be in your lung. That will be in your joints. That will be in your back, and not talking about having like all this medication and now what you call medical illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, or so on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, give you some scary numbers.
Yep.
In Malaysia, the obesity per se, or the overweight, not talk about obesity because this is actually a definition of the obesity. I'm not talking about overweight because overweight is just when you have a bit of weight between 10 to 15 kilos above your weight. Now I'm talking about truly obesity. It is almost like 43% of the population in the obesity category.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now Malaysia is actually come to the facts. They are second in Southeast Asia in obesity, for
Ah.
adult obesity, and for childhood obesity, we are actually heading also to number two. Now, if you go
Wow.
back in 2016, in Southeast Asia, Malaysia was number one in obesity, and for childhood obesity, we are number two after Brunei.
Oh
So this
wow.
is actually, yeah, this is, can you imagine that? We are talking about 40 plus percent. That's out of 10 people sitting, four of them, they have the obesity issue. That's
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
it's a lot because oh man, okay, look at when I was younger, right? I went okay, so I got cousins in Singapore lah. Okay,
Okay.
when I went to Singapore, okay, look, when I was young, I would say about maybe 6, 7 years old, I was a bit chubby, but I was chubby because baby fat and stuff like that lah. But when I went there, I got to know from my cousin that Singapore, actually, if any individual or any student was above a certain weight threshold, they will start sending them for outward bound camp. They will start sending them for exercise to make sure that they bring their weight down, that they're healthy and stuff like that. And that was to combat weight gain or overweight students. And also, I mean, maybe because it was to prepare them to go for their the what was it? What service are the army service?
Every
The
service.
yeah, the army service and stuff like that and stuff like that. So last time I remember when I was young, I always understood that Singapore was a very fit country. But now to hear from you that our country, 43% of Malaysians are supposedly obese. That's a very worrying number because
Yeah.
obesity leads to very, very complicated health complications, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what could obesity lead to?
Okay, I mean, now you have to understand not only that, actually, out of all, there are some few studies they found, actually, they took all the Asian countries and they took one disease. Let's say, for example, let's say we talk about diabetes mellitus. They
Yep.
found for Malaysian they take same age group, same weight, and they are taking the same medication. They found the most difficult to control their disease is actually Malaysian in matter of diabetes. Why is that? Because the food habit.
Yeah.
The, the food stuff. I mean, the varieties is there, but the
Yeah.
problem is actually you have sometimes okay, you have to balance. You cannot always be always into one category. You cannot be always into Italian food, the nice food. There are a lot of nice, healthy food as well. All right, you can have a lot of nice meals whatsoever. Now, what is the we if we talk about obesity per se, what is come behind it? There are more than 65 major illnesses that can come from obesity. you are talking about 65 major illnesses. I'm not talking about minor illnesses, major.
And
Can
okay,
you
so
imagine?
just to ask you there, from this, okay, I know major sounds like it is a big word. From these
Yeah.
65 major illnesses, are all 65 major illnesses fatal or not?
Eventually, a lot of them, they can be fatal. Eventually. So, I mean,
Oh,
you have to understand, people, when they take it as obesity, you said, oh, I'm doing very well, I'm very good. But so they take it like a matter of physical performance.
yeah,
That is not the issue. Understand? There are a lot of things happening inside you because of that obesity, which eventually it will shorten your lifespan. It will make you more prone to other diseases.
right.
You will have a poorer recovery compared to others. Now,
Mm-hmm.
in COVID time, a lot of the death cases, you elderly, they have a lot of medical problem, obesity. These are the main three people who actually died because of the COVID.
Yep.
And this is where actually is because it will look from outside something, but from inside it will eat you from inside. And this is where you have to think differently when it is come to overweight and obesity.
Okay. Okay, doctor, I'm quite interested in this because when is someone obese? Like, okay, I remember I went for a doctor's checkup. I'm over because some people they are tall, and then because they are super tall, like me, you, you know, yeah, you
Okay,
got a bit of
let me sit
you
like
got
that. I look taller, right?
yeah, some people, when they say that they're overweight or, some people are a little bit overweight than usual, then the way they console themselves is, it's okay lah, because I'm tall, I'm okay to be a little bit overweight because I'm tall. So, you don't, people immediately think that obesity means that it's a point of no return where you're someone who's like super super overweight. But when I went for a doctor's checkup, I think quite recent, maybe about 6 months ago,
Your cholesterol is high.
yeah, the cholesterol, they said that I am borderline obesity. But if you look at me, I don't look like someone who would people be labeled as obesity. But the doctor did say, "Hi, I think you're borderline obese." Potential going there. Cholesterol is high, so you might want to bring your weight down and change your lifestyle a bit. So when is someone obese? People fail to realize that. They always think that, oh, I see a really fat person, that person's obese. This person a little bit overweight. Nah. Okay, so when do we actually diagnose someone as obesity?
All right, that's very good question. So now, when we come to obesity, let's define it. Okay, so if we define the obesity, it's come actually by the BMI, body
Okay.
mass index, and this is the combination of your height and weight. There is an equation behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we define a person who is obese, when we have the BMI more than 35, and for the Asian, because of the short stature, then it is more than 32.5. And when you are talking about this is a BMI per se. And now
Right.
we have another category. We call it actually two types of obesity. We have global obesity, we have
Mm-hmm.
central obesity. So from the global obesity, that you are big from the head to toe. So you're all one piece, you are big. So this we call it
Okay.
global obesity. Central
Right.
obesity, when is basically you have only in the belly part, in the center part. And that is actually is
Ah.
more dangerous. Why?
Oh.
Because central obesity and always say, oh, this is my money, my investment, prosperity. This is actually, I'm sorry for that, but I would like to say some bad word, but that is ultimately very bad, because these are the type of people, they will end with major problem, like I would say diabetes, hypertension. Okay, if you follow, very recently I viral one topic.
Yep.
That doesn't mean you are kurus, that mean you're puruti. That doesn't mean the stomach smaller, you are smaller than the stomach smaller. Doesn't mean that
Mm-hmm.
you don't have another medical problems. It's
Right.
basically what it tells. Even sometimes when you are in the overweight category, you are not in the super obese. So let's say, for
Mm.
example, that as you said just now, not so big. Still, you may have a lot of medical problems. That is actually depend on your fat distribution, and that's
Right.
what we call it hip to the waist ratio. So the comparison between your waist area to your hips. So it's basically you are just describing, are you centrally obese or no?
I
The
see. I
central
see.
obesity is the killer. If, let's say, for example, the taller you are,
Yep.
you don't look like big, because you know why? Because everything distributes over your body. The shorter you
Yep.
are, the things look there. Then when it is there, that will give you the problem. Anything can affect in the body system, meaning of pressure, this will end in a problem. We have to understand the fat that we have is actually store toxins. The fat that we have is actually secrete hormones as well. The fat that we have in female, that fat can secrete hormones. Estrogen can affect their ovary. They cannot get pregnancy. They can get ovarian cancer. They can breast cancer only from that fat.
Oh,
Understand
wow.
that this is where we are going to talk about the major illnesses. So it's
Yeah.
no joke to have a bit of weight here and there. So you always try to idealize your weight as much as you can. May not be easy. This is where you have to need the advice and need a counseling or whatsoever. Not everybody needs surgery. We do have a lot of people that have dietary counseling, lifestyle, and everything. How we
Yeah.
maintain our weight is the same, actually, is you take care of your food, exercise a bit. I finished yesterday 5K surgeries. I have to go to the gym. This is
Oh.
my lifestyle. So but you get used on that. I get those. If I don't exercise, I get like sick. Understand? Right?
Yeah, but I think a lot of people. Okay, so what I gather from that is like the body mass index, which is the thing that you stand on the weighing scale and you hold this, hold that, you know, or something.
These two things.
So okay, so I remember I checked mine. I think currently my BMI is 27%. It used to be 24%. Now it's 27%. Or actually, it used to be 29%. Then I've been exercising. You know, I've been ever since I went for the checkup. I've been exercising. I managed to bring it down to like 25 to 27. So does it fluctuate that fast, the BMI? Is it because I have like a weighing scale that basically calculates your BMI at home.
Okay, so now your height never change, isn't it?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
like true. So is the one is fluctuating is your weight. Now is the fluctuation in your BMI in 2 degrees between 25 to 27, that's mean your weight easily between 5 to 7, 8 kilos. This is the variation. And that is
Right.
too wide. That's too wide.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
okay.
need to keep it between 1 or 2 kilos up and downs. And this is where, let's say, for example, depend. I mean, even when we give diet counseling whatsoever, it's okay. When it is come to holiday, then it is holiday. You go and enjoy. But now there is no holiday. Everybody is sitting home. So basically, you should not have a lot of external factors that is actually affect you. The problem, once you let it go, it will go off eventually in a very bad direction. So you need to control it. You find where is the problem. So that's why every patient we do counseling for them, there will be one point they are missing in their life. Give them the advice and they are really looking for it, then they can make it. Now, we cannot blame our genetics. We cannot.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And we don't accept that. In medically, that in Malaysia, for example, is very common. Beturunan. Kita beturunan, kita macam tu. I mean, everybody blame the genetics. Everybody like that. No, it is actually the family style. The family style, it will follow whatever actually the cooking style, the lifestyle, then it's no one born obese. No one. No one. Okay? If you come from the illnesses, or let's say, for example, genetically can cause weight increase or whatsoever, there is only one person. Only.
Okay.
Out of the whole population.
Right. Okay, the next question I want to ask, because you see, there are some people who are a little bit overweight, but they are very active. Okay, they go running, they go cycling and stuff like that, but they don't lose the weight. They still
not
are
active enough. Not active enough. Okay, and
the thing is, they tend to always think that it's okay because I may be overweight or I may be fat, I may have a very very big belly and stuff like that. But I'm always constantly exercising, I'm always constantly sweating, so they think it's okay. Is that the right mentality and the right mindset to go with or not?
No. Now we know you have to keep in mind that when the age change, okay, the metabolism will go down. All right.
Yeah.
But then when the age change, also the food also will change. Now, how to keep yourself safe is actually by keep yourself the closest to your ideal weight. The closer you are to your ideal weight, the better you are.
Okay. So I mean, like, obviously you can Google what is your ideal weight
Okay. I give you very very simple trick.
Okay.
Your height. Okay. I give you an example. I am 178 centimeter. Take out the 100.
Okay.
So left 78. So the 78 plus minus 5. That will be your ideal weight. Simple.
Oh.
This is not correct equation. We have a equation, we call it Harris-Benedict. You know Benedict, the one you eat?
Okay,
We
yes,
call it
yeah, yeah.
Harris Benedict is actually is the equation we use it for the true BMI calculation, the ideal weight.
Right,
But this will contain the age factor, a lot female, the pregnancies or whatsoever. But make it very simple. 100 out
right.
your way, that will be like mine. Let's say 78 plus minus 5. That will be like that. So I'll be
I see.
from 72 to 82. That will be my
So,
ideal. Yes.
okay, so I'm 180, so
Okay.
I should be
It's very simple.
75,
Yeah.
75 to 80.
Yeah. 75 to 85. 75 to
75.
85.
Hey,
Ah.
I mean, I weighed myself this morning. I'm 85, so I should give myself a big round of applause. I'm still like, look, I'm still working. I'm still working on bringing that weight down because when you are overweight, it doesn't only just affect you physically. It also affects you mentally as well, and I believe that you will agree to this as well. So when it comes to now, I know you talked about the major illnesses. So before I go on to the next question, what are some of the major illnesses that people should be really aware about when they're obese and that they are most likely to basically catch?
Okay. Now the common sense that always you find it is actually your cholesterol, your
Yep.
hypertension, diabetes. Now you see when it is come, let's say for example, now the cholesterol eventually will end with affect your blood vessels, and these
Right.
blood vessels, and when you are your age after 50, then you are much more than other people that you are prone to strokes. Okay,
Oh.
so that's we are talking
Okay.
brain stroke, heart stroke, brain stroke. You are talking about paralysis, not moving whatsoever. So this is one of the major. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
actually one of the things that which you find it very, very, very common. All the people they have masala, the weight is actually they snore, snoring. That's actually, and the snoring is some
Mm-hmm.
sort of obstructive sleep apnea. Now for patient is a noise, for the family is something annoying, but for
Yep.
us is actually is a pressure in the lungs and heart, which is eventually will end with heart failure. Now, I tell you, I received one patient last 2 weeks. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't operate her. She is 200 plus kilo, all right,
Mm-hmm.
and you find that actually there is darabuku, clot is
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
in the main artery that's supplying the lung, and everything is like just a bomb. That patient can
Mm-hmm.
die any moment. So the
Okay.
problem, those patients they reach to the level even we cannot help them. This is a
Okay.
this is the bigger problem. Okay,
Wow.
some of the things that you can find, let's say for example, which people they don't resign. Oh, I have a bit of diabetes, but I control the diabetes. But you will find
Yep.
when you have a diabetes with obesity, the first
Yeah.
organ will be really fail very fast is your kidneys.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
your kidney function always will be less and less. And now this has come to the fact. Now see people they can easily take a lot of simply medication,
Mm-hmm.
Kurus, all this, and they try to lose their weight by all this medication, which is we know very well that are not all of them very safe.
I
So
see.
yes, and when we go to the next level, then we are talking about cancer. Now, by all
Okay.
means, all the type of cancer, the prevalence is higher in obese people in general.
Okay.
In general.
Okay. Okay. Now, I wanna. Okay, sorry. I something that caught my attention. You talked about ubat kurus. Like there's a lot. Okay, seriously, the minute you start googling how to lose weight, your Facebook page is gonna start pushing you all these like pills and like diet, lifestyle changes, all these plans. All these detoxing and stuff like that. What works and what doesn't work? Should
Oh,
one person actually succumb to all these advertising, like, okay, diet pills, number one, detox, like, eat all those bars, those energy bars that basically detoxes your body and makes you go like, cheret beret for like 2 days. Do those things work or not? Are those things like advisable to be taken or not?
okay. Now we have to come to the resources of all this. Of course, all this medication, Malaysia, we are very strict in this. Everything have to be under KKM. So everything
Yep.
have to be, those people, they have to get license for it. So number one. Number two, it should be any of these things is come with some medical evidence base. And the problem, I'm talking evidence base, that's mean they took this medication, they try it on animals, for example, or humans, when they showed there is actually this outcome whatsoever, which none of them. None.
Okay.
Simply
Okay.
none. And
Yep.
and when it has come to us as that's why you see we cannot advertise for all these things because this is against our ethics. And this in Malaysia, license. That's mean
Yep.
if I do something for all this commercially, they can pull off my license. So they are very
Right.
strict in that sense. So basically, which one it works? So that all of them they do have some base, but the
Okay.
combination sometimes may not be perfect 100%. Understand?
Okay.
Let's say, for example, I give you an example out of this, out of the Obat Kurus whatsoever. There was in a time, people who have renal stone, they use this, they call it hair tough,
Mm-hmm.
TUFF. So basically is a herb where they mix it with water and they just drink
Yep.
it. It will actually will all the kidney stones will go off
Yep.
totally. Patient they don't need
Right.
surgery. And
Okay.
that was like something very high in a time. But they found after
Mm-hmm.
5 years, that medication will stay in the kidney and cause kidney failure.
Oh man.
Yeah, I
Oh, okay.
understand.
Okay.
But that because it was somehow and never been experiment on animals whatsoever. So the experiment was the human themselves,
Right.
and this is the medical ethics will come up there. So in order to get
So
license, most of this actually they are come from KKM license. So it should be in a matter safe, but too good to be true sometimes,
yeah, I know. So I think the best thing to do, so if you have problem with your weight, I mean, like if you have problem with your weight, I know people are just gonna say, hey, just go out exercise lah, just go out eat less lah. It is okay to consult the doctor if you have problems bringing down your weight, right?
exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Because
Because
people tend to always think that, oh, no lah, don't go see doctor lah. Why got so serious? It's me. It's me. It's always me. So, people like, look, me, like, I would have never have thought just because I'm overweight by like 10 kilos, should I need to go and see a doctor or have a doctor tell me that I'm overweight? So, I mean, like what I'm trying to say over here, that it is okay for people to actually go and consult a doctor to help them with their weight loss, right?
yeah, it's actually because most of those patients eventually they are not going to see the doctor, going to see the dietitian. It's just a matter of their diet actually. So it's more of dietary counseling, and you have to understand how clever you are. Your body even more clever than you. So when
Oh.
you try to do things, and that's why there are even when we do exercise also need counseling. You understand?
Oh,
You
okay.
cannot just keep doing walking and running whatsoever. That doesn't work. You have to keep changing your exercises because basically your body also will get used on it. So it's like the routine.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I give
That
you
means
one
like
concept. Yeah, I give
yep.
you one concept. One of the concepts, let's say we call it body shocking. So those people, let's say we do like weight loss with them whatsoever, then they reach to a certain level, the weight stop. That's it. We do body
Yep.
shocking. What is body shocking? We give them 2 or 3 days, they just messed up their diet. Eat badly, no running, no exercise whatsoever. The body will get
Mm-hmm.
shocked
Okay.
because you change. You've been trying eating very well, clean all that time that he got used on it. That body is very clever. So now he knows how to go about it. So that's why you
Right.
lose weight, then you got plateau. You want to
I
lose that one
see.
kilo, also cannot.
I
Then we do
see.
body shocking. Eat wrong. Then after that, give it 2 to 3 days. Then you come back. The weight will go down.
So is it okay? Is it right to say that this is a way to hack your body?
Yeah.
It's I hack your
It
body.
is, it is, it is, it is actually. Just make
All
him
right.
go crazy. That's all. What is Ginny doing? My God.
Okay, that's it. I've okay. It's good to hear it from you
I
because
mean,
these are
yeah,
things that I've read online. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
concepts. We call it concepts, weight loss
Mm-hmm.
concepts. So there are a lot of it. Okay, like, now you see, for example, everybody say, okay, I don't know what to do. I exercise. I eat only one a day. I don't know. Still, I don't know. That's the biggest mistake that you eat once a day because basically you are against your body language. Now, you've been created by God that you have hormone that will increase your metabolism 3 times a day. That's with breakfast, lunch, and dinner to prepare your
Yep.
body to eat without
Right.
gaining weight, to prepare your body to get nutrients without getting weight. But of course, if you every time the type of food that you eat is very wrong, then of
Yep.
course the body will cannot help it. And the second thing, when you don't eat, the body will understand that this fella, who is he? Why he's not getting any food or energy? So what they will do, the body will lock or the fat burning mechanism. So instead
Right.
of burning fat, The body
They're
will
storing
keep
fat.
storing fat because the body worry. Like you are in the desert, for example. This the body knows. Body doesn't see what you are seeing outside. So this is actually you are start to preserve fat, and that's why we say you need to eat carb to burn the fat. Hey,
Oh,
we thought to eat carb, if you eat carb, you get fat, right?
yeah,
Of course, we
yes.
are talking about amount of one fist. We're not talking about of one big plate, understand?
Okay,
So that's
okay.
why where the principle of eating is actually the three major things that when it's come to weight loss. Number one,
Okay.
cut sugar. Number two, reduce your carbs. We never say cut carbs. You have to eat. And number three is actually you boost it with exercise.
I see. That's very interesting. Yeah, because carbs has always been, people. I don't want rice. Oh, I don't want potatoes. I don't want to eat. I'm gonna cut carbs because I want to lose weight. Particularly. I mean, like I'm not gonna say only females, but even myself also. I try not to eat rice, but these days I do try to eat rice. I realized that when there was one point in time I completely cut out rice, and I realized that my exercise I was a lot weaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are right.
And that,
You are definitely right.
And that's where I brought back the the spaghetti and the pasta and the rice and stuff like that. But doctor, I just want to ask you this question. Now, before I go into the topic of how you manage patients who are obese. Number one, how does one person become obese? Because a lot of people tend to always think, or I'm not going to say that everybody thinks this way, but like for at least what I think is, people tend to think that obesity is ingrown. That means like this person is fat from young, that's why he becomes obese. But I think people fail to realize that there are a lot of things that can cause one person to overeat. Depression can cause one person to overeat, and because they overeat, they will be overweight, and then they don't control it, they can be obese. So what causes obesity? Is it eating habits, or is it the time you eat, the stuff you eat? What are some of the bad practices that basically leads to obesity?
Okay. Now, remember just now we mentioned no one born fat. Okay. Zero.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Even if you do have a mother who have diabetes during the pregnancy, the baby will come big, but eventually within 1 week, the baby will go back to the normal size. Okay. Now, there is no medical problem or genetics that can cause, we will talk about different genetics after this, that
Yeah.
can cause obesity, except I said one person. There is, let's say, for
Yeah.
example, this syndrome called Prader-Willi. Okay, Prada the bag. This is called Prader-Willi. It's easy to
Okay.
remember. Now, Prader-Willi is basically the loss of eating control and binging up to the vomiting. Eat. Then they
Oh,
vomit.
okay.
Then they vomit. This is actually, it is a combination of psychological and organic problem as well. But this
I
is
see.
all only form, and most of those actually happen in kiddies, okay, in the young generation, and they are mentally, they are not stable. You don't find them, they
Right.
are normal people. They are only the handicap and all these things. That's why you find a lot
Right.
of handicaps, they are big in size because they do have Prader-Willi, like
I
Mongolism and
see.
all these things. They do have some sort of that. Now, other
Okay.
than that, it is two things. It is lifestyle and actually type of food. These are the two things that is major do things. Now, how this happened to people? Some people will say, "Oh, I am lucky. You are. My body is like that." Whatever. Some people are not lucky. Now, in genetics, we have three body types.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm gonna compare between you and you, me and you
Okay.
after this.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
okay. Three body types: mesomorph, ectomorph, endomorph. All right. Okay. Now,
Mesomorph, endomorph, and ectomorph.
okay, so now
Okay.
mesomorph from the muscles, people who are genetically they have high muscle mass.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you who. Ectomorph, those people they are skinny, skin and bone. They eat whatsoever, but they are still. They are still the same. They
Yep.
eat a lot but they are still skin and bone. And the endomorph are those people who are easily can gain weight. Okay, they
Right.
have the fat proposition in their body is actually much higher than the muscle mass. And you
Okay.
have to understand whatever of these type, these are genetics. What I mean, Genie boy, you look like your uncle, you look like your father. This is your genetics. Understand?
Yes. Yeah.
This lady, she looks like her mom. Exactly, copy paste her mom. Yes, she can inherit her body type. So this we call it the body type. Now, between these types, let's say, for example, you being Chinese, okay? So the most actually of the Chinese, the yellow race, that's me, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, they are most of them, they are mesomorph. They are blessed with that. They have the muscle mass is high.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm Middle Eastern. Okay, we are most of us, we are endomorph. Okay, now the
Okay.
endomorph, they easily can gain weight. Okay,
Oh.
yes. Okay, who are endomorph? Like here, Malayu,
Okay.
Indian, Pakistanis, they are all
Mm-hmm.
endomorphs, which is
Mm-hmm.
basically one pregnancy for the lady, boom, that's it.
Okay.
So now, if me, Mustafa, and Ginny Boy go to the gym, we exercise for 3 months. You
Yep.
definitely you can build up muscle better than me.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yes, because
Okay.
most of your race they are more of mesomorph.
I
Yes,
see.
this is genetics. Truly, this is genetics. We cannot change
Mm-hmm.
our genetics because they're
Okay.
combined. Now, the worst thing when you have combination between races, and if the
Mm.
two races they are endomorph, boom, that's it. So
Okay. Okay.
let's say Melayu married to Pakistani. Both of them they
Yep.
are endomorph. So that would be bloom. So those people they are potentially they can. But what is the curse behind that? Is those people they need to take extra care of their body, okay? Because they
Exactly.
have difficulty to. But still there is solution. I'm endomorph, okay? But in from my family they are all big size, but
Mm-hmm.
they still they can control. But let's say for example, I told you my height 178. I still maintain my weight 78, 79. I can bring it
Wow.
down even. Uh,
Okay.
even by
Okay.
being endomorph. But I give you but one short story. I've been
Mm-hmm.
invited to one of this royal families outside Malaysia, not in Malaysia,
Oh.
and I went to
Mm-hmm.
their house, and they refused for me to go to a hotel. Okay, and they
Mm-hmm.
want me because it's a big house. So I stay in their house. They don't have normal food. They have buffet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Can you
Oh
imagine?
my gosh.
and,
Oh
and
wow.
and there is a corner for the sweet, a corner for the drink, a corner for all this like cookies whatsoever. two
Yeah.
days and a half I stay there. I gained 2 kilos and a half.
Oh my goodness.
Me
A kilo a
myself.
day. Oh my god. That's oh man. Okay, that's another. Here's another question I like to ask. Okay, does sleep deprivation contribute to weight gain as well? If you don't sleep, if you don't have a healthy sleeping cycle, does that actually contribute to weight gain as
I
well?
give you the 5 things that you need in order to maintain the metabolism high, in order to
Right.
maintain it, which is basically on number one, regular meals. Okay, no
Okay.
skipping, no replacement of meal. Number two, balanced food. Your food have all the elements. Number
Yes.
three, good sleep, solid 6 to 7 hours. Okay, depend
Got
on
it.
the age as well. Good
Mm-hmm.
water, that will be also to the height, very percentage to the height as well.
Right.
Like yourself, the taller you are, the more you need water. And the last thing
Mm-hmm.
is actually good exercise. So these are the main
Mm-hmm.
5 principles: regular meal, balanced food, good sleep, good water, good exercise.
I see.
This
And
is
now,
just to
now,
maintain,
yeah.
just to maintain.
Yeah. So now that we know, what contributes to weight gain and the potential stuff, when it comes to people who are already obese, all right, people who already have problem with their weight and stuff like that, how does one treat a patient who is obese?
Okay, now this is also again is depend on the weight itself, the medical
Yep.
problems or whatsoever. Now I'm a bariatric surgeon. Yes, I do surgeries to weight reduction surgery, cutting stomach, changing sleep, bypass whatsoever. But we change it into two types. One
Mm-hmm.
is we call it pharmacological, one we call it surgical. Now,
Okay.
pharmacological is these are the thing when we start to use some sort of medication to help, and these medications that help them to suppress their appetite, to boost their what we call
Ah.
the metabolism. The unfortunate here, there are some of the doctors they using medication for, let's say, for diabetes, for thyroid
Yep. Yep.
gland also in order because these things eventually will increase metabolism. They use it to lose weight, which is not acceptable. Of
Okay.
course, we are not talking about dietary counseling and the weight and the exercise. That is actually definitely human. But I'm talking about definitive solutions. So we divide it for those people who have what we call marginal weight. They have 10, 15 kg. We start with them, diet counseling, exercise, and everything. And we give them something to boost their what we call the metabolism. Now, the good thing
Yes.
about it, because all this type of medication nowadays, they are all very safe and you can use it for
Okay.
far quite good sometimes. And I am actually one of those I use for my patients. And the second thing, and for those people who actually exceeded the reversal point, then when they are in obesity class 2 and above, or they have some medical problem and they have some physical disability, they're their knees, their back, they cannot exercise very
Yeah.
much, then this is where basically we have to go for something higher, which is the surgery by all types. Yeah.
I have a friend of mine that did not go for surgery to remove the fat, but he exercised he was actually obese, and he admitted it. Really big size, but he went to the gym and he worked out and he lost all that fat, but he had all that excess skin and excess everything. Do you do that as well?
No, that's basically under plastic surgery. Body contouring and everything. This is under plastic surgery. And for the just for the info, we don't remove fat. That remove fat, we call it liposuction, also under what you call plastic. But this is mainly for shaping up. It doesn't do anything with your medical illnesses and all these things. In bariatric surgery is different. We basically aim to treat the illnesses, and all the weight is part of them.
Right. So now that you treat all these patients, you have like a consultation, you have a medication to help boost their metabolism, and then of course, when you go up to bigger tiers, you have surgery and stuff like that. In your opinion, what is the biggest challenge for every patient on the road to recovery from obesity? What's their biggest challenge?
It's actually the mindset, for sure. Okay. Because if you talk about surgery, is not much, because the surgery is something very, I would say, is a very gentle laparoscopy. Do the surgery today, tomorrow go home. But the mindset, okay, the mental challenge that you control your diet, you try to devoid yourself from all the type of the unnecessary, like too oily, too fatty food. But you have to understand, end of the day, it is versus that you are gaining your health back. Okay.
Yes.
I have a topic which I always emphasize. I would say health, something to be earned. So you have to work for your health. If you don't have, even when it's come to the surgery, sometimes if you see the patient, they are not self-motivated, I will tell them, just don't do the surgery, because you will struggle. You will struggle because you like the food more than your health and yourself. So, but most of them is actually, they reach to that, when they come to the level they ask even for surgery, they know they passed the long journey already, and that's it, they give up. And some of them, I was also super impressed with some of them. I told you about the endomorphic things. So I have one family, which the lady, she knows that actually all her sisters, the mother, they are all big size. She's a bit of overweight. She came asking for surgery as prophylaxis. I mean, she doesn't want to reach to that level like her other siblings. And I told him, okay, we cannot do that because you are not qualified in that. She's an overweight, but she wasn't qualified for surgery. But I mean that she is very concerned about her weight. And that lady, she's hiking or whatever. She said, if I stop hiking, I stop exercise, I will gain weight very short. So you see, you have two type of categories. Some people, they are really, the awareness is very high. Some people, they are in their what we call denial stages. But you have to understand also something that we cannot blame people also, because obesity is the disease of the low socioeconomic class people as well, because that type of food. So it is the two extreme, the too rich, the too poor. The too rich, they have the plenty of food or whatever. The too poor, because the quality of food is very bad. So sometimes we cannot push the patient too hard as well.
Yeah. So how does one person, all right, okay, let's say for example, if I have a friend who is a little bit overweight, how should one approach that person and kind of give them advice like, hey man, you better watch your weight and stuff like that, because sometimes people, right, when you say that, hey, you put on weight, they straight away be like very shy, like don't want. How should they be? I mean, okay, maybe it's not right for people to go say, hey, you put on weight. I think mainly what should be done, what else do we need in this society to educate people about how bad it is to be overweight?
Okay, that's what we need, somebody like you, Ginny. I mean, you can convey the message, understand. Now, this is a very sensitive issue. You are definitely right. It's a very sensitive issue. And sometimes the people, they not only in their denial, they can be very aggressive. But I think the only way, which is the safest way, is to go in a reverse psychology. And meaning of that, you just loop around, give them different stories, I have a patient of mine who actually had a surgery, and she is very happy with the outcome. And she sent me a
Right.
picture of somebody who's very big and he is trying to climb the car. He couldn't. Car, just normal car. It's not like climbing a stairs. He just want to go to the car. He couldn't. She said, Doctor, what shall I do? How can I go and talk to that person? I told him, you are the best person to go to talk to because you pass through this, you know? So some
Yes.
people, they
Yes.
have the authority to do that because she can go, hey, I want to tell you, I was obese and I did the surgery. Now look at me, how I look like.
Right.
There is no problem with that. Some people like, who are vocal people like yourself, you can convey the messages, but it's
Yep.
always the respect issue is there because it's a very sensitive issue. We cannot, hey,
Yeah.
bro, you look very obese. How are you? What happened? This is very common sense. But the people, they don't understand how this affects the person himself or herself. I do have a lot of people, they go to psychological depression. They start to be antisocial. Mother, she
Yeah.
came, doctor, please help my daughter. She stopped going out. She's not taking pictures with her cousins. During Raya, she doesn't want to go out whatsoever.
Yep.
Kid can super major depression, they have
Yeah.
all this anxiety and all these things. So sometimes you have to show them the good part of life. Okay, no need to tell them,
Right. Right.
hey, that day I went to this one with exercise. Hey, I feel so good about it. Hey, why don't you try to come
Yeah.
with us? Even with you can actually help you to do this. But each person have their own approach. But
Right.
nevertheless, we don't tell them if you are obese, you're gonna die. Go and die. You cannot. You cannot do that.
Oh.
Okay, we cannot.
Okay. Of course not. Of
They
course not.
are.
Of course not.
They are. I'm telling you,
They
they
are.
are. And even there are some doctors actually they can treat the patient in that way. And I do
Oh
have a
wow.
patient. I'm telling you, I do have a patient who she was 160 kilos and she went to see one doctor regarding this weight things, and the doctor scolded her because she cannot control her diet and whatsoever. And he scolded
Right.
her very badly, and she was very bad. She locked herself in her room for 2 years. And when she came and saw me, she was already 190 kilo. She gained
Oh
30
my
kilo.
goodness. Oh my
Yeah. Yeah.
goodness.
So sometimes those people very fragile. We need to treat them like babies. I literally like a baby. So we need to get good approach with them. But it's just
Yeah, I
at the
see.
same time also, we don't want those people who fight against the good people, which I mean a lot of people who are in the overweight and the obesity, they are
Yeah.
fighting. Well, the problem being obese is not a problem. I
Yeah.
look good. I
They're
look
very.
awesome.
Yeah. They're.
That's not right. That's not right.
Maybe because they're very confident. It's like, you know what, I am confident. Don't look down on me just because I'm overweight and stuff like that. This is my life. This is my decision. So I mean, yes, we do respect that, but obviously it is more recommended to be in a. I would say it's not lose weight. It's be on the healthy weight range of your body's needs and stuff like that lah. You know what I mean?
Yep, you're right.
Interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. I guess, for me, I wouldn't lie, because when I was young, I was fat. And it really affected me a lot, because you see, as a young child who was about standard 6, right, standard 5, right, when I was fat, I was always sidelined. All the girls will always make fun of me because I'm fat. They will always, you will automatically think like, oh, in order for you to be socially accepted, you need to be thin. And the more you want to hit for that goal, you will never get it, because there will be something that kind of hinders you from reaching that goal. And sometimes you're doing it wrongly. Like sometimes I remember I didn't eat from morning to night, and when you said, and just as you said just now, if you starve yourself the whole entire day, your body basically goes into storage mode, and then you're not losing weight properly and stuff like that. But I think, like, for me, what happened was, when I went to high school, I started getting really active into sports, badminton, basketball, not football, because I cannot play football. I cannot kick to save my life, and running and stuff like that. And I realized that I was able to kind of like be fit, and I lost a lot of weight then, I remember.
Yeah.
Then, college, I came to college, and I came out to work, and I put on weight again. But now I'm getting back into exercise again. But
Never too late.
to be honest,
Never too late, Jenny.
it is.
Never,
Yes,
never too late.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
never too late.
It is never too late. And if when I saw my friend who was really overweight, obese, okay, I mean, yes, he really admitted he was obese. It took him 2 years to get down to a weight that was normal. 2 years.
There is very famous European lady, Masale. Now she is in her 80s. She is just a piece of muscles. I'm telling you, she is just like excellent. 80 years old. I'm talking 80 years old. She does all this type of very aggressive or challenging type of exercises, and at the
Yep.
age of 80. And she started her
Wow.
journey when she was in her 40s. She
Oh
started,
wow. Okay.
yes, yes. So never too
Okay.
late, never too late. Yeah.
Okay, so doctor, I want to ask one more thing. Okay, when let's say an overweight person starts their journey into weight loss, right? I need to ask this because okay, what is a healthy way to lose weight? Because some people can boast suddenly, like, oh my god, in 1 month I lost 10 kilos. Is that a healthy way? Is that a healthy amount to lose in 1 month?
Okay,
In a day, like
yeah, okay. The number may be scary that we're talking about 10 kilos in 1 month. Looks like, oh, that's a lot. But basically, the more you have weight, then that 10 kilo is nothing actually. If you
I
have
see. Oh,
a 50 kilos and you lose 10 kilos, this is nothing actually. But if you have
I
only
see.
like or 12 kilos and you lost 10 kilos in 1 month, that's actually that's not healthy. And
What's a healthy range to lose, like in a week, or like what's good progress? Do you lose 1 kilo a week, or do you lose like
okay,
half
let's say for
a kilo?
example, when we talk about weight loss in bariatric, we take it over 18 months. This is one
I see.
year and a half, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we will talk about in the, let's say for example, if the good way of weight loss, if you are in obesity class 1, for example, because they
Mm-hmm.
are all
Mm-hmm.
numbers, a lot of numbers and percentage, it's good to lose around like between 6 to 7% in 1 month time. So now,
I
how
see.
much is that? Is actually you have to go back to it. I'll give you an example. If you have a matter of 15 kilo or 20 kilo,
Yep.
it will go. It's okay if you lose between, let's say, 4 to 5 kilos. That's a,
A
in one
month.
month. A month, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Understand.
understand. Okay, now, in order, when you said, okay, your question, which is a very good question, what is the healthy way of losing weight? Now we go back to
Yeah.
the same principle. Please don't cut your food. Eat,
Okay.
but eat it proper. All right. The
Okay.
portion, make it smaller. Okay. Avoid the thing that will stay long in your body. These are, I'm not talking as a doctor, I'm talking about normal layman, so everybody can understand that. Okay.
Yep.
Don't eat type of food that can stay longer in your body. The
Okay.
more oily, the more will take longer time of your body. The more it
Ah.
is fried food, the more it will take a lot of your metabolism process.
Hmm.
This is where the nice food is. Come and goreng goreng.
But you're living in Malaysia where you go to
I
Penang.
know, I
Like,
know, I know. But you
how do-
okay? Balance. Okay, I mean
okay. Okay.
everything you do, what you do, you reward yourself. Okay, that's mean you do
Okay.
it over, let's say, for example, 1 week. Okay, one
Right.
week you have one day you can bluff up whatever you want to do. It's okay, fine, fair enough for you. Okay,
Okay.
but there are some methods also to make you also lose weight.
Okay.
Okay. Um, First and first is actually, as we said, regular meal whatsoever. But if you want to take care of, that should be your dinner.
Okay.
Dinner is the killer because the lighter you are when you sleep, the better your metabolism. Okay.
I
And in all,
see.
yes, but the problem is when you say, for example, you are busy during the day, then you
Yes.
have the time
Yes.
only to eat by 6, 7 o'clock, then you boom, hit it up. That's the biggest mistake. You will never lose
Oh,
weight because you know why?
I see.
Okay, this will change the whole body metabolism and will change the whole
Okay.
body language. You have to eat
Mm-hmm.
bigger and smaller and smaller. If you do the other way around, that your body composition also would be you have more fat down, less muscle up.
I see.
If you eat properly, you will have more muscle up, less fat down, which everybody wants
Okay.
that. You want to
Okay.
be muscular,
Understand.
flat abdomen, everybody wants that, isn't it?
I'm actually glad you said that. Okay, then yeah. So
Am I touching
go to
on the nerve? Am I touching the nerve? What?
yeah, you are. Because like every time, like when what you just said kind of relates to me because like every time I'm busy, right? It's like meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. Okay, maybe I eat a biscuit here. Maybe like 4 o'clock, I'll just eat like one something. Then after dinner, haha. Oh, okay. That really
Okay,
okay.
so
All
it's
right, all
even
right.
like everybody said, okay, oh, I'm rushing in the morning or whatsoever. If you have to think like that. If you got a time of your life to spend it of 7, 8 hours in your work, you don't
Mm-hmm.
care about having like 15 minutes of your breakfast. How
I see.
important is that? And if you are somebody who is rushing, I sometimes, because let's say I take what you call half-boiled egg or something like that. If I
Yep.
don't have the
Yep.
time to do that in the morning, I'll prepare it at night. So morning, I'll just
I
prepare, blah,
see.
blah, blah, that's it. I'll take it while I'm
Okay.
preparing my coffee because half of my breakfast will be made. Sometimes I'm rushing, I'll take it in the car.
I
And
see. I see.
another advice for anybody who want to lose weight, you need to understand how much you are taking and how much body you needs. Then this is not the BMI, this is the BMR, basic
Okay.
metabolic requirement. Everybody can do that. You just open on the online BMR calculator. So that will tell
Right.
you need how many calories you need in order to maintain your weight. Okay, so let's say for
Right.
example,
Okay.
for Genie Boy, this height, this weight, in order to maintain that weight, you need to eat this amount of calories. Okay,
I
if
see.
you gonna reduce 500 calories from that calories that you calculate, you're gonna lose 0.45 kg per week.
I see.
Simply
It's
like
a
that.
calorie deficit method lah.
Yeah, but the calorie deficit is actually have to come always with regular meal as well. That's
Okay,
mean
regular meal and exercise as
yeah, of
well.
course, exercise. This is no, we are talking about food per se. So you when
Okay.
you do the deficit, so sometimes what they do, they misunderstood the whole idea of the deficit. So the deficit, what they will do,
Mm-hmm.
they deficit the whole carbs. They go
I
for
see.
keto diet and all these things. No wrong to have keto diet, but you have to understand if you do the keto diet, basically you are
Yep.
devoiding yourself from all the carbs, and that carbs will take a lot of the storage. Where is your storage
I
of?
see.
Is either will be yes, good in the belly, yes, that's true, but you have some of the
Okay.
storage in your liver. And this is people
Oh.
when they gain weight, they will have fatty liver because fat will go in the liver. And there you have all the transporter for the proteins in the body, you have all the
Mm-hmm.
iron is there, then you have all
Mm-hmm.
the clotting factors for the blood. These are all the liver. So basically, in somehow not considered so healthy. And that's why
Okay.
some of my patients, when they ask for intermittent fasting or keto diet,
Yeah.
they are looking for it. It's okay, fine. I allow them, but not for a long time.
I see.
Uh,
Okay.
okay.
That's it's good to know.
Can you imagine for the lady after she deliver a baby, she need
Yeah.
2 years to replenish the iron storage in her liver. two
Oh wow.
years from simple
Okay.
pregnancy, and this is how sensitive our body in the storage of all these vitamins and minerals, which is basically
Okay.
important in any other part of your functions also. So we cannot just simply come on, let's do diet, let's do diet. It doesn't work like
Okay.
that. It's not so complex,
Okay.
and it is not so easy as well. But the simple
Right.
concept is take your meal regularly, make sure food have all the component of it, the carbohydrates and
Yes.
and the vegetables.
Awesome,
Mhm.
awesome, Doctor. It has been a very, very insightful morning today. I'm glad I had this conversation with you.
Make
You
sure
know,
you go and take
I
your
learned a
breakfast
lot.
after that.
Yeah, I know. But before we end this conversation, was it what would you like to advise to anybody out there who's actually going or struggling through obesity?
Okay. A very simple thing. Number one, love yourself. If you really love
Hmm.
yourself, then this is the time for you to think of your health in a different way. Our concept is actually we don't look to the body shape. There is no one good in that shape and no one is bad in that shape. Everybody look pretty and beautiful, all right? But
Yep.
if you really love your body and you want to live healthy, then you have to actually to eat healthy as well. Okay,
Right.
weight gain is a global issue. We used to
Yep.
call it a global obesity. Now we have a new concept. We call it globicity. So the whole world
Hmm.
is actually obese. But this is actually came from our lifestyle. We are overwhelmed with work and everything. But you have to understand to keep going on, then you have to maintain a good health. Good health has come from a very healthy weight as well.
That's
Love
right.
yourself.
Awesome.
Okay, enjoy your food, enjoy exercise as well. There will be a cheating day, there will be always a reward
Yep.
time, but not every day. Think of it in a
Awesome.
very simple way.
Awesome. Doctor,
Uh,
it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much. And,
Jenny, very nice to meet you.
yes, very nice to meet you. And remember, if you guys have any struggles, it's always okay to consult your doctor. Of course, you can always consult Dr. Mustafa over here. And, remember, you can always see the light at the end of the tunnel and overcome the problem of obesity.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, doctor.
All right.
I'll
Thank
speak
you
to you
very
next
much.
time.
Thank you.